Good morning from here, from south of Portugal. I'm calling from Tamera. My name is Markus Dittrich, and I live and work here since 10 years. And I'm part of the ecology team in Tamera, working with the land, with water, with food production, and with people in Tamera and beyond. Yeah, that's my professional background. And regarding the current situation of COVID-19, how we are experiencing this is, I would say, we are ourselves in a learning and research process. Is this a crisis or is this an opportunity? In what way is this a crisis, and in what way is this an opportunity? And we can see we're following, of course, what is happening in the world through various news channels and media, and to keep our discernment. And we can also do the same kind of questioning within our community, because there are various responses in Tamera about what's happening. Some people react with fear, others react with curiosity, and we need to listen to the diverse voices to know where we are and to not exclude somebody. So we also have people in our community who are officially belonging to risk groups, who are potentially in risk of their health. We are experiencing a change in the contact with our, for example, food producers, people who are not living in Tamera, but who are working with us and for us, people who have family, people who have children, whose children don't go to school any longer. We closed our own schooling project here. So children who live in the neighborhood, they're not coming anymore. Many parents who have children and are not living in community, they can't work for us in Tamera. They are partially working from home, and partially they're just at home with their children. So we're dealing with all these factors, and we will not open our community to guests so soon. So our guest season is postponed. With that comes a question about income and activities and exchange with people on our land. So will we do more online knowledge transfer? What else?
Well, maybe we can also just move to the next questions. I'm curious. So this is like very much like the local experience, and also Tamera has a very strong role that you play in the world of ecovillages, coming from Portugal. How are you shifting? I know that you had a very strong internal time now over winter where you really focused inwards. And usually this is the time where you start going out again into the world,
yes.
into the community, right? So how are you experiencing that? Is there, are there structures and is there knowledge that you are able to share beyond the community at this time?
Yeah, one of the interesting phenomena that we're experiencing now is that before COVID-19 became really acute and known in the world, we did an exercise with, I think, 60 people or so from our community, where we went into, I think it was 2 weeks of an envisioning exercise, asking ourselves, where do we want to go? Where do we see Tamera in the next 3 to 10 years? And how do we see ourselves, our community, in the in the evolution of the global changes, and where do we see the world in the next 3 to 10 years? And we did that as in the spirit of empowering ourselves and reclaiming the capacity of everyone to ask, what do I want to see in the world, and what's my role and responsibility in that? What's our responsibility as a community in that, and how can we share this with other communities or anyone who is interested or who's asking the same questions? And now we have the situation that a lot of us when we envisioned the future, we saw that the situation will become more existential, and we will face more existential questions about our food supply, about staying independent and diverse in how information is being shared. We will be faced with our fears, and we are also a bit surprised that this happens now so soon, that something that many people saw in our exercises is happening only a few weeks after with such intensity. So, and in terms of structures, we are in the stretch between respecting the regulations and measures that are coming from governments and many countries in the world, and we're trying to keep our ground in that, and also not turn our back towards values that we share, like, which, for example, is community, is coming together. We have people who want to come to us, who are now friends and neighbors, who are staying at home, some of them alone. So we established a council that is dealing with all those requests, and we need to figure out in the community, how do we deal with those requests responsibly. We are also helping our local producers. We're staying in contact with them, with food producers, helping to install a active regional network of food supply. We have neighbors who want to come here to shop. So we can feel how, because of the size we are, and we can also be a very active node in the regional network to keep this region awake and alive, and that we don't all drop in fear and isolation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So maybe to end this, because originally this conversation was going to be about the climate crisis, or just,
yes,
so, and I think you already spoke to this when you spoke about how you experience the future. So is there something that you would like to say, maybe in the same response, also reaching out to other communities around the world, about the cross connections that you see between, especially climate, which I know is also changing fast in Portugal, and the other crises that we're facing?
Yeah.
Or opportunities.
Yes. So the word climate crisis is so has so many meanings, and what it points to, I think, is a general need for everyone to become aware of what's our relationship with place, with Earth, what's the weather of the Earth, what sustains us, and how can we become more local in our relationship with the community beyond humans as well, and do that in a very global consciousness and awareness. So that's a very short answer to the climate, the changing climate, changing people.
But I think that's beautiful, Marcus. Is there any last sentence or invitation that you would like to speak out to people, community builders, communities worldwide?
Yeah. Please, people, if anyone talks about a common enemy, I would say it's fear and forgetfulness. It's not a virus, and let's face this. Let's stay connected, and please inform yourselves and look for sources of information that nourish you, and stand up and ask yourself, use that opportunity and ask yourself, what will I do when I can move freely? Like, with whom will I connect, and how will I build a healthy system, healthy relationships?
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.